Good morning and happy Friday, everyone. Olivia Miller's on the phone today. We have a few agenda items we're going to go over today. We don't have too much to cover, so towards the end of the webinar, we can do some questions and answers if there's any questions over any updates or new processes that have been put in place. We'll definitely get those answered for you guys. The first thing we're going to go over here on our agenda today is some of our dashboard numbers. I don't have them broken out by office today. Dee is in at CAP, so she didn't have a chance to get that done this morning. But I'm going to do that right after the webinar, and we will send that out with the meeting minutes so you can see how many customers you have in your office. Today, we're just going to do a high-level overview of some of the areas in the dashboard that you guys want to keep your eye on and make sure customers are getting moved out of there as needed. So the first row we have is the referral pending. Appointment has not been scheduled. We have 88 customers who have been identified as re-engagement, and I know you all are working to get them called in and assess them and make sure they're good to go back to that CBO. So any customers in there, just make sure you're calling them in and getting them referred back to a CBO. If they need to change CBO offices after you have met with them, if that's been determined, you can send an email to Olivia Miller or Dee Reinhardt, Deidre Wesley, or the Epic Help Desk, and we can work with you to get those customers moved over to a new CBO office. And then the next row we have is the referral pending 2151. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Referral pending, no contact from customers, recommend conciliation. We have 71 customers who were a no-show for their CBO appointment. We just need to call those customers back in and determine if good cause was the case for them not showing. If so, get them rescheduled to go back to the CBOs. And then our next row, one second. The next row we have to go over is the referral rejected. So we have 25 customers who went to the CBO and they were rejected for some reason. I do know that a good chunk of those 25 customers, Deidre has went in and identified that these customers are no longer part of the EPIC program. So if there is a case note in there from Deidre or another staff member saying that these customers are exempt and do not have to participate, then those customers do not have to be re-referred back to a CBO, and we'll keep them in that line for now. And then our next row is the no longer appropriate for provider services. We have one customer who the CBO has indicated on the 2151A that the customer is no longer appropriate for the services. The CBOs only use this option if during a staffing they are told that this is the case. And so these customers will just need to be called back in to determine if they can be placed with another CBO or they may not be eligible for the EPIC program. And then the final row we have here is the DHS review recommend sanction. We have 28 customers who have been recommended for sanction by the CBO, typically for not attending the conciliation appointment. The case notes and should specify the reason why they're being recommended for sanction. So if you have any customers in any of the rows that we covered, just make sure you're getting them called in and determining the next course of action for those customers. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Deidre, or the EPIC Help Desk, and we can get those answered for you guys. Do you have any questions on any of the numbers that we went over? Alrighty, I don't see anybody typing, so we're going to move on. I just want to quickly touch on the re-engagement process and scheduling a customer in the event that they need to have a new appointment to go back to the CBO. I have noticed that we have some staff members who are going into the customer's progress page and leaving case notes with the appointment date. That is not the proper way to schedule them. The problem with that is that these customers with the case notes, the CBO does not know that they are coming. So we need to make sure that they are getting notifications, and the way to do that is to schedule the appointment using the schedule tool that is found within the initial CBO appointment 2151 upload section of the progress page. So when you're looking at their page, it will be closed, but if you open that up, there will be a schedule appointment button. And I currently don't have any appointments in here. This is the test epic, so we don't have live data. But this table would be populated with all of the CBO's appointment dates. And then you can select the one you would like to schedule that customer for. And then it will populate their latest appointment section. And it will also send an email to the CBO to let them know. And it will mark them down, mark the customer down in the scheduling system on the back end that the CBO has access to, so they know all of the customers that will be showing up for that appointment. Most of the time there's multiple appointment slots within the same time period, so they can only take like 3 customers between 10 and 11. So we want to make sure that we're using that scheduling tool because we don't want to waste anybody's time and have them go to the CBO office and the CBO not be there or already be working with another customer and not able to help them. Do you guys have any questions on the re-engagement process? Is there any barriers or anything you guys have ran into when you're attempting to re-engage customers, or any questions that have come up you guys have for us? Looks like I have Erica typing in here, so we'll see what her question is. I'll look and see what we had marked down for. Okay, Erica's just checking in. It looks like one person did mark that they had some questions on the CBO assignment. If you want to go ahead and type, give me a little more context of what your question is about, we can look into getting that answered for you. Alrighty, I don't see anybody typing anything in here. I don't have anything else to go over with you guys today. We will be having a update coming out soon that you all will have access to. It will be the updated ISTEP report that you can go to see the specific services in which your customers are receiving with the CBOs. That is on test, and Dee has just finished testing it yesterday, and I think Cody's going to make a few tweaks to it, and then we should have that pushed out to production by next week. So I do have a question. Pam asks, so if a customer withdraws, we still have to update their activity with the JPP assignment. If a customer withdraws from Epic, you do not need to do anything in the Epic system. We will sync with EPIS, and once EPIS updates their system to show the customer is withdrawn, it will update in our system and put a big red bar across the top of the customer's profile progress in iStep pages that let the CBO know that this customer is no longer in the program and cannot participate in Epic activities. As for what you would do with the JPP assignment, that would not be in the EPIC system. You may have something you have to do in your DHS system, but for EPIC, we do not require you to do anything. You can put in a case note specifying that they went to a JPP program, but that's about the only thing you can do in this EPIC system. Do we have any other questions before we end today's webinar? All righty, well, I don't see anybody typing, so we can go ahead and wrap up today's webinar. But if any questions or concerns come up between now and our next webinar, which will be taking place on January 26th at 10 a.m., feel free to email me or Dee or Deidre, and we can get those taken care of. Oh, I do have one more question that came in. Do customers still have the option to opt out? I had 2 people call this week. I wasn't sure how long it was going to take for the red bar to show up. So, Erica, I actually had a conversation with the study team last week, and I believe so did Deidre. The study team would really appreciate if the customers do not call and withdraw from the program if possible. If they want to opt out, the study team prefers that they would be put in a JPP program, but not be given the number to withdraw so they can continue to report on that person. So the number to withdraw from the program should not be given out to customers unless they specifically request to withdraw from the program completely, from the study completely. If they're just wanting to opt out of EPIC, I would advise that you reach out to Deidre and just let her know the situation. And then the study team has asked that we put them in a JPP program and let them remain in the EPIC study, but not participate with an EPIC CBO provider. No problem. All right, do we have any other questions? All righty, I don't see anybody typing. You all have a great weekend, and just so you know, our office will be closed on Monday, but we'll all be back in the office on Tuesday. I believe Dee will be available on Monday if you run into anything big and need to reach out to her. Definitely feel free to do that. And I will plan on talking to you all on our next webinar on January 26th, and you all have a great rest of your day, and thanks for joining.